Okay, here we go. All right, today we are at this stage right now. Are we at distribution phase? All right, now what does distribution phase mean for the financial market? Anyone can tell me what is the meaning of that for the financial market? What you call distribution phase? All right, anybody can tell me? Let me know. Please key now. Morning to you, Wilson/Eunice. All right, because Hong Kong open already, right? Right, can you tell me what is the phase distribution means in the financial market? Of course, we know what distribution, the word means, but when it comes to financial market, all right, this particular word is a taboo, in fact. So what is this meaning? Distribution. Can anyone tell me? All right, I'll wait for your answer. See, anyone can tell me what does it mean? Wow, I love Fred's answer. Always very, beautiful, hit it right in. All right, indeed, you're exactly right. It's all right. Now, distribution is a very bad word, in fact, in the market. And normally, we don't use the word distribution. We use the word harvesting. Better word, right? Okay, looking for retailers to take over high prices. That is the real transition of it, because you think about it, right? In the financial market, who holds the biggest chunk of money? Now, many people say it's the big boys, but you're actually very wrong. The big boys do hold some money, but the difference is that they congregate and concentrated people. They concentrate the funds to attack certain area. But if they're talking about the real world largest wealth, right, is at retailers. The retailers are the one that hold the most amount of money. But because we're all scattered, that's why this Chinese saying "san hu," right? Scattered investors. That's why we are all everywhere. So it's very easy for these whales or these boys to manipulate us. But if we actually one day, right, come together and then, right, defend, right, wow, you understand my point, right? It's exactly what the Reddit did last time when they so-called pull in the funds and they go for the kill, and a lot of Wall Street boys got hit. Something along that direction. Okay, all right. So basically now the thing is that distribution means that the boys or the market has pumped it up, okay, at the back of this, you can see the picture at the back, has pumped up the market price, and usually at the top right, that is where distribution will start in. They talk about it. And after that, what happened? The boys will start to sell what the retailers coming to buy. Now, why would the retailer buy at this stage? Because of FOMO, meaning fear of missing out. And of course, the media and all the so-called expert, the gurus are all calling for buy. And then this is where they quietly do their word harvesting. Okay, so later on, I'll talk about this. Right, whales are selling, not wrong. All right, indeed, correct. Whales actually meant for cryptocurrency space. All right, for big boys in the financial market is still the boys. For the cryptocurrency space, we call it the whales. All right, okay, so there's in a way to be go into the details of it. That is how they are being separated or categorized. All right, so before we start this morning, once again, there's a lot of information to share with you. So same thing again, every morning I take all the time to make sure that I do the homework for you and of course share you with a lot of stuff. And end of the day, there's only one objective, is that I hope that you make money. And of course, if you make money, I'll kindly ask you to just post your winnings to the main group chats so that it inspires the rest of the people. Okay, I think what actually this sister Cynthia just mentioned yesterday, I think, or this morning, regarding about the Go group. I mean, there are about probably 100 of you guys are subscribers, and of course, you guys, if you all put your heart and soul to trade the TWB system, I'm sure you can perform as well as them, those who are making money day in, day out. All right. So if you accepted the above, you identified me. All right, let's begin. Now, take a look here. This is a very nice cartoon. Well, you asked for a fairy tale, so the father tell the daughter, and obviously the father is reading something called the Fed forecast. So you can see what it means, right? So I'm trying to tell you that, okay, the federal forecast is like a fairy tale, and likely it will make you sleep well, because it's like about unicorn. You see, this is why they purposely put a unicorn there. And a unicorn, real or fake, you should know the answer, right? So it's trying to tell you that the way Fed forecast is that a unicorn, you believe it or you don't believe it, okay? But of course, it's not real, right? So that's why I'm trying to infer this. And of course, some people, I say that, they've been looking at the Federal Reserve, keep on repeating like a broken recorder that there's going to be transitory. So people get a bit bored by this and they say, okay, it's just like a lullaby. Okay, so there's always a fairy tale or a lullaby, right? So yesterday, right, although I was busy with lots of meetings, but of course I happened to glance this our group chat, and I realized that I'm also again mentioned in a lullaby. All right, yesterday in Go group chat. Now doesn't mean that I don't reply, means I'm not watching it, but I just say that there's no harm, nothing is very badly done. So I saw this. All right, so one of my good friends, Zachary, he says that, right, just go to TWB revision group and play any random video. Listen to Cal Neck, the same process until you fall asleep. It works. I put it on my background when I'm working, fall asleep every time. All right. All right. I mean, Zachary and me go for a long time ago. We know each other for many, many years. All right. From university time, not he being in university. All right. Until now, he is working and probably gonna get married soon in the next few years' time. It's about nearly about 8 years friendship already, 8 to 9 years, I think. So we go very far. So we know that, I know he's joking, and I know that end of the day is that he just to tell you that remind you about the importance of trying to understand what I share every single day. Okay. All right. So it's a lullaby, right? All right. So for today, be a successful TWB trader. One of the things from Jason Klett says that sheer will and determination is no substitute for something that actually works. So which means that, right, even with sheer will and determination, right, okay, you need to have more than that, okay? So motivation is not enough to become a successful trader. You need knowledge, specifically knowledge of what works for you. And I think that is absolutely perfect quote here. Because end of the day, I realized that some students of mine, they tell me that they are very happy with gold, but they trade the Dow Jones. And because they trade Dow Jones, because they some of them making money, and because Dow Jones volatility is very big, right? So what do? They will actually trade the Dow Jones and unfortunately got hit by the market. You understand my point, right? But they are very successful in gold. So rather than being successful or trading gold, right, they rather go and trade the Dow Jones because they want the money. But unfortunately, right, the gold gives them some money, but the Dow lost them even more money. So end of the day, a small plus sign and a big negative sign, overall net change is negative. So you need to know what really works for you. And as long as you know that it works for you, you just have to really go into it and grow on it. Okay, and then after that, when you get so comfortable with it, you can play a bigger lot size. End of the day, I've said this many times before. The only way to success itself, right, as a trader, to get financial freedom, I'm going to be upfront with you. It's a lot size. It's not the it's not the entry. Then you aim for the sky and get triggered. I mean, give you an example. Let's say you know the goal is going to go down to 2218 example, but you only trade at 0.1. I mean, by end of the day itself, right, even the goal go to 2218, you only going to make $4,000 out of this. Only 4,000. But the difference is, example, like say M Trader, right? If she also knows about 2218 and she has great faith in example in the gold market, and she goes in and say 10 lots. Now, what will happen? The difference is the profit is 400,000. You understand my point? 400,000. Yes, that's the much of difference there. So 0.1 contract to and 1.10 contract, right? The difference is that one is 4,000, one is 400,000. So 4,000, you probably can pay some bills, but 400,000 can get you a HDB flat. So that is the point that I want to stress, and that is something that you must reconsider to work on something that really helps you and works for you. Okay. All right. So what are the reasons to stay bullish right now? Okay, just give me a short moment. Okay, just going to get my fan on because it's getting a bit hot now. On. Okay, all right. Okay, so I know that by saying hot right now, right, you must be like, Cal is actually pretty chill this morning, right? Yeah, indeed, this morning was fantastic weather, fantastic. I love cold weather. I don't like rain. I love cold weather. Yeah, I did. All right, morning to you, Bahir. All right, let's talk about the reasons to stay bullish for now. Let's take a look. Now, one thing is that UBS, okay, one of the banks raises S&P 500 year-end forecast because of giant profit comeback. Okay, so apparently, right, they are expecting the second quarter of earnings to have a strong start, which we saw. And of course, right, David, okay, I can't pronounce this. So David, head of equities for America's UBS Global Wealth Management, hiked his target of S&P 500, projecting the index to reach 4,500 and 4,650 by June 2022. All right. Now, previously, they were looking at 4,004 to 4,005. Now, 4,004, we are very nearby. So probably that's the reason why he increased his expectation. And because of that itself, right, he gave his reason, say about the companies are doing well, 80% of them should be better than expected, and so forth. All right. So the thing is this, we saw yesterday JPMorgan and Goldman Sachs data. They were exciting, they were good, but interestingly, things happened. I'll talk about this later. Then Pepsi Cola shares went up, okay, because their earnings was fantastic. So that is whereby you can see that everyone is supposed to be giving pretty good earnings report. And they felt that, right, the investors shouldn't worry about the short-term reaction to the quarterly results and trust the rising profit will keep the bull market going, okay? And saying that, right, okay, large earning, not really every time will cause the stock market to be going up, right? We all know that. So, but then again, we cannot, because of the so-called experience, we lose out the big picture. So they're basically, in short, he's trying to tell you that, look, as stock earnings are there, okay, and stock price is going up, the market stay bullish. Now, I totally agree with this statement. I totally agree with you. And I also mentioned to you guys that this is something that we have been saying and been saying in the last 3 months. Okay, the earnings will be good. But it's just that the question will be is that would this October data be good? Because now we're talking about now July, August, September earnings, would it be as stellar as compared to last quarter? Now, this is what the market is looking at, because market do not buy what they announced today. They buy on what they expect to see in 3 months' time, because that is what I call forecasting. All right, so we'll talk about this later on. So let's take a look at the data for today. Right now, we just saw JPMorgan, Goldman Sachs, and PepsiCo. They came out their data all above their expectation. That was good. Now today we have even more. We have Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citibank, BlackRock. Okay. Now Delta and PNC. Okay lah. I mean, these are big companies, but not that that's going to be like market movers. But definitely Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citibank, and BlackRock, right? Especially BlackRock will probably give you a feel of what would they expect to see in the coming quarter and the next half of the year. So that's why today the data from this company will be pretty important. Then on Thursday, we have Morgan Stanley. That is the one that we'll be looking at. And on Friday will be likely the only one to be Charles Schwab and probably Ericsson. All right, probably these two are the one. The other rest, I kind of like not too sure what they do, but of course, we will see how it goes. All right, I'll update you guys as we come to that point. All right, now JPMorgan tops estimate after posting 2.3 billion boost from better than expected loan losses. And of course, Goldman Sachs blow past estimates as investment banking revenue boosted by strong IPO market. So strong IPO market is good for the banks because they make a lot of money through underwriting. And of course, JPMorgan make money from the loan losses. So overall, we should expect the two counters to go up, right? But interestingly, both counter closed down yesterday. And I'll talk about this later. And that's the reason why I felt that, right, we might be in distribution phase at this moment. But of course, it's too early to jump the gun. We'll talk about this more as we go along. All right, so we can see that yesterday, the small caps actually came off yesterday. They were holding well until the CPI data came out. Now, obviously, when the CPI data came out, right, what happened was that the yields shoot up. And of course, when the yields shoot up, it's all right. They again have this re-emerged talk about potential interest rate high and stuff like that. And of course, when that thing happened, right, small cap is the first to go. That's why first small cap came off. Now, we actually saw a very interesting inverse relationship. We saw the NASDAQ, the Dow Jones, S&P actually recovers, but it only fizzled out later when the auction of the 10-year yield and auction of the bonds came in, and the auction was terrible, really terrible. People are not buying. And then after that, what you saw is that price coming back off again. But still, they managed to stay pretty flat. So all I can say is that, right, the whole market now is now kind of like a bit lost. They don't know what to look at now, but basically some profit taking is kind of expected. But no biggie lah. Everything is still okay. Now you can see that the dollar index went up, right? The dollar index went up yesterday after initial was a CPI. Then after that, there was some profit taking. Then when the auction came out, right, wow, the dollar shooted up. Now, of course, with the dollar shooting up so high, right, what do we expect to see the gold prices? Now, tell me, guys, with the dollar index going up so high, right, what do we expect to see in gold prices? Please key your answer right now. I get some water. Okay, what do we get to see? Oh, it seems that today's the Facebook messages is like a bit slow today, huh? Okay, so we have the answer from Jerry down, Allison down. I expected it to come down from Carl, but it did not. Anthony down, gold prices go down, right? So, but right, guys, you are absolutely correct. And I told you guys, I told you that based on fundamental, when the dollar goes up, right? Okay, the balancing beam that gold will come down, right? But if you look at the chart yesterday, you can see that the gold price indeed, right, instead of when the CPI data came out, right, the gold price plunged initially. But after that, right, wow, look at it, it reversed all the way from 1800, reversed all the way back to 1816 level. Of course, towards the end, it fizzled out, but overall, it was still a positive day overall, as compared to the dollar, exactly, Fred. So the question is this, how come like that? How come the dollar is up so much and the gold doesn't go down? Now, that's the reason why I keep on reminding you guys, do not do this. Do not think that, right, the dollar goes up, the gold must come down, and you short the gold on its own. I tell you this is going to kill you guys. Don't do that. Never do that right now, especially. Don't do that, because I'm going to suspect to see this. I kind of suspect that, right, the way what we're doing now is exactly what I fear. We are probably going towards a mega commodity run soon. I repeat myself, we are likely going to see a commodities run soon. Why do I say that? Now think about this for one moment. If the dollar goes up, what commodities should do is come down, right? But if commodities actually goes up at the same time, then what will happen? That means that inflation is actually kicking in, and everybody can see that. And in order to combat inflation, people will expect foodstuff and, example, hedge material like gold will go together. So that is the reason why the funds jump back to buy into this. Okay, then don't forget, as the price goes higher, as the food price goes higher or commodities price goes higher, then the dollar also goes higher because of inflation and all this thing, right? It moves together in tandem. Now, there will be a point whereby later on, Federal Reserve will say, you know what? Enough tapering. And then after that, enough of this QE, and they do tapering. Now, what happened? The dollar will go even higher. And what happened to the commodity prices? You'll be stunned. They will go even higher too. Then after that itself, right, when this is like coming so fast and it cannot be controlled, right, then probably the stock market may take profit. And then after that, what happened? In order to save the world, in order to save the equity world, all right, the Federal Reserve may say, okay, you know what, maybe this is not the right move now, let's go back QE again. And the dollar is going to come down. And when that happens, wow, the commodity prices will shoot through the roof. Can you understand what I'm trying to say? So this is going to be another 6 months to 9 months potential movement. All right, for those who understand this as well, right? Okay, all right, what they just said about the 6 to 9 months in terms of like what will likely be happening, please key number 1 right now. If you understand what I just say, please key number 1. Yes, in fact, indeed, if inflation persists, right, both can rise at the same time. And that was what I shared with Benedict. Benedict, are you here today? All right, that day during on the MAO session, and he, of course, very nicely, he also agreed with what I just said. What I just said about this thing. Good, that was cool, right? Okay, thank you guys. Thank you so much for your confirmation. Okay, all right. So that is what we are seeing now on gold and the dollar. And of course, I told you guys crude oil must buy, right? I told you anytime crude oil price come down, must really buy. And you see that the CPI data came out, right? Crude oil plunged because I said the dollar increases. So initially, commodity price will come down. But after a while later, you look at it, oh my God, it found space, found strength, and very clearly they don't care, don't bother. And all the way, the crude oil price go all the way up to $75. Now, yesterday, when the crude oil price goes up, usually crude counters, energy counters will go up, right? But indeed, some of them went up, right? But the Dow Jones still come off yesterday, right? So why is that reason? Because same thing again, it doesn't mean that energy goes up, the stock market must go up, all right? It can come down too. So again, all these sort of relationship, right? Once in a while, you can take it and for viewership, but you cannot say that, Cal, because I see crude oil go up now, I must go and I must buy the Dow Jones. It doesn't work that way, my friends. It doesn't work that way. Individual market work individually. But definitely for sure, we are just $3 away from my target. I already said my target for crude oil is about $78, and we are just $3 marginally away. So will we see that? Well, let's see from the chart later, okay? Because we're going to have the API inventory later today. Then, of course, the VIX indicator, right? You can see the VIX index. The VIX index went up all the way when it was the CPI data. Then after that, it came all the way down. Then after that, it stabilized at 16 again and went all the way to 17. Now, I've been telling you guys, if you are able to buy the VIX index, you should buy around 16. I've been saying this many times. All right, remember? Those who remember that I say that VIX 16, can you keyword VIX 16? Right, if you remember that I told you guys that if you see VIX coming down to 16, all right, 16, you can buy the VIX. Now, yesterday, there were 3 occasions for buy in the afternoon. Then after that, we have, yesterday's afternoon. And of course, we have this last night where we saw the movement at about 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. yesterday. VIX came down to 16. And after that, it shoot up all the way to 17. Okay, so guys, this is how you can trade VIX. All right, one of the way to trade VIX, you can go to Think or Swim, or you can go to other platforms that they actually covers VIX index trading. Right, thank you very much, Fred. Wow, thank you. Okay, so 16 is very nice. So if you can't remember the 60 word, just remember sweet 16. Okay, very sweet. All right, congratulations to those who actually went in to buy at 16 yesterday. All right, so for today, it's the second half of the morning MAO. We talk about the CPI data. Is the interest rate going up? We talk about the forecast. I mentioned about the yields. And we talk about the S&P Information Technology, this sector. And of course, is this a feel like 1999? So we'll talk about this in the second half of the MAO. Okay. Right, Susan go live as usual every day, Monday to Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Susan will go live. And now we have more than 200 members inside there. And of course, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Susan will come in to talk more. So I haven't updated yesterday's one, but definitely yesterday it was another fruitful day. Susan has been making money every day from trading, and she trades like a variety of counters. And of course, you guys have benefited from that. So that is the reason why you should tell your friends to join us. Now, don't forget that 1st of August, the price for our cost fee will go to 1688. So if a friend don't mind paying 2888, of course, we are happy with that. But if your friend want to be like savvy as you, then you should tell them to come in ASAP, because we are just only 16 days away. And the next bump up price will be 2888. Okay, of course at 2888 there are more things given now. Okay, they'll get a lot more benefits. But being a savvy investors, and if I say the system doesn't change much, then of course why don't you actually pay for a lower price to jump in? Okay, so guys, remember 1st of August. I have been saying this for a long time already. Okay, so how come like that? Hold on a minute. Probably I didn't do the PowerPoint. Hold on. Okay, moment. Now this is okay. Wait a minute. Okay, so what we saw yesterday, inflation climbs higher than expected as the price index rises 5.4%. Okay, now do note this is consumer price. Okay, consumer price are not index. Consumer price up by 5.4%. The biggest monthly gain since 2008, not 18, no, not 2020, no, is as far back as 13 years ago. Wow, okay. This is the biggest jump in percentage form. And of course, the market is kind of getting a bit jittery right now. So of course, let's just bring what Rick had to say to you guys over a 2-minute video. Listen to what he had to offer and say pretty interesting stuff. Watch this.
Our June read on consumer price index, and as Becky pointed out, things like commodities have really reversed, and the numbers are in, and they're much hotter, up 0.9% of 1%. for headlines. Strip out the all-important food and energy, still up 9/10. And if we look at year-over-year CPI, which has the base effect, we know it's going to be a bit higher because of depressed COVID levels a year ago, zooming up to 5.4%. And if we look at ex-food and energy year-over-year, up 4.5%. All these numbers are hotter than expectations. All these numbers are hotter than what's in the rearview mirror. And we continue, of course, to point out certain things. Yes, there are going to be bottlenecks that are going to reverse. There's going to be supply chain issues and commodity spikes. They're going to reverse. But are there things that may not reverse, or it's too early to tell? I certainly think so. And I think one of them, we put in our gas tank every other day. We have air conditioning on, energy prices. 48% of small businesses, Becky, have raised prices in May. That's the highest, largest percentage in 40 years. And we all know green and climate change. There is a bit of a war on fossil fuels. There will be a price for that. Might be a moral thing to do in many people's minds, but trust me, when it's 100 degrees where you need to charge your EV in certain states, it's going to be an issue. Sticky energy prices, also services, and what's the most important aspect of any business, the best asset they have, the ones that go up and down the elevators every day. And I personally think, I don't know, I think when prices start to go up for wages, I think they're going to be a bit sticky. I wouldn't look for the Fed to normalize, but I think certain higher prices will not only normalize, they'll become part of the fabric of the economy. But that's just my opinion. Becky, back to you.
Hey, Rick, we looked at the 10-year right before we got these numbers. Let's check it out again. It was yielding 1.36%, I believe, right before. Right now, you're going to see?
No, it was about 134.5, 135 before. It's 137 now, and I would like to stress, if you're an armchair technician, I'll make this real easy for you. Look at 136 to 138 is the zone. Above it, most likely we're going to see a bit of selling and higher yields on a closing basis. Below it, I think the pressure from last week sticks a bit. I think some of the selling had to do with supply this week, and I think some of that may ease as we get through the auction. 24 billion 30-year bonds at 1 o'clock Eastern today.
Okay, so you can see that he did a very good job to explain to us in regards of what he sees in the market. And of course, you know, I always find him very nice, very smart person. He knows it, but very comical guy at the same time. Okay, so the thing is that now what will really happen, right? So CPI is up, so what does it mean? Well, basically, right, there's two ways to look at it. Number one is that a lot of people, the producers, they're going to make some money because the price goes up, then you put down the cost to the consumer. So for consumer, what Rick had just said, right? I mean, consumer had to pay. I mean, you are not going to tell me that I'm going to on my aircon, even though it's like costly. Seriously, I will still go out and use energy regardless. So costs will just keep on going higher. It will not change the fact because people still spend. Okay, so that is whereby, right? That is where the market, you can see the reaction was, okay, yeah, we have this inflation. So what? Right, it's just only transitory, and maybe later on itself, right, I make more money, I can cover back this cost. So this is what people are looking at. The only thing is when the pain come in is when your salary goes down, or your earnings goes down, or your income goes down. That is where the pain comes in. So I keep on saying this many times before. All right, if you are okay having money, you make money from the stock market, right? A meal that costs $25 for lunch, example, is still within acceptance. But if let's say you lost the income, maybe from the stock market, you lost some money, then maybe your boss tell you that, you know what, the business not doing well, let's reduce some of the OTs and also reduce the pay by, $1 for every 1 hour. Then that is where the pain comes in. Because not only that affects you, of course, when that happens, right, across the board, all get affected, but prices go up still, right? Then, of course, your kids, your wife, your groceries, everything still maintain a higher price. That where the pain comes in. Then from the $25 meal, you may want to reconsider to buy a $5 meal or $10 meal, downgrade all the way down. And when that happens itself, right, the restaurants that have been serving the $25 meal will get affected. And of course, that will give a repercussion downside effect. So that is where the delicate balance between inflation have or don't have, right, stick over there itself. All right. So that is how I see this. But of course, in local scene right now, right, we just saw something quite terrible happen. All right. So apparently this cluster have came in and 19 people got hit for this COVID-19. Okay, kind of rhymes. All right. And of course, this is not only Singapore. This is just only one particular case. I'm just going to be asking how come it happened. All right. We have very big problem now in Malaysia. Malaysia have 11,000 new cases, the third record in less than a week. Oh my God, that is something that is terrible. And that's why a lot of friends of mine from Malaysia, they say that that's it. How are we going to go back home? All right. Really, I cannot think that when will be the next one, the MCO, right? And of course, the one that really stunned me just this morning as I look at it, Indonesia is climbing to nearly 48,000 cases in one single day. Oh my goodness. All right. So it's like, it's just going now from the US, American side, then after it hit the northern side, and now it's coming back down towards us, the Southeast Asia side. So this is what's happening. But again, I say, although people are falling sick, but it's still the fatality rate itself is still the fertility rate is still very low. I mean, people are not dying that fast. So that's why it's still within control. So all I can say is that just keep yourself safe, okay? Even though I can see yesterday, many people is running outside, right? Good. As long as we keep ourselves safe, I think it should be okay. But those people who got hit by this extra activity that they do in the launches, then they go and answer for themselves, especially for those men. Okay, all right. Okay. But now you can look at this, right? Boris Johnson just came out and said, be cautious as they're still going to go ahead with the COVID-19 lifting for Freedom Day. Although the numbers is still surging, but to them itself, let's continue. So we are just days away from this Freedom Day. Let's see what happened after that, okay? Now, yesterday, the core CPI was the core CPI, core, not consumer. The core CPI came in 0.9. It was way higher than my 0.4 target. Now, I was looking at 0.6 to 0.7 at best. So 0.9 was higher, right? But what happened in the market? Other than the small caps came down, right? The rest are okay. So that's why I tell you this. The market has grown to two reasons. One is that I just don't care. You come down, I must buy because I got money. Okay, that's one way to look at it. The other way is that, right, some protection team came in and make sure that the market don't fall. So that is to give the fair, the type of smoke screen to tell you that even the numbers are high, so what? So that is why I can tell you this. Moving forward, the PPI tonight, the crude oil inventories, the Federal Reserve, they're going to testify at 12 a.m. today. Take note, it's 12 a.m. Oh, sorry, I haven't changed the Eastern time yet. So that should be, what time is that? 2 a.m. Singapore time? Sorry, I haven't changed to Singapore time yet. This is GMT minus 4. So what, 4? It can't be, is that, could it be 4 a.m.? Can't be, right? Okay, all right, I'll get back to you on this. Anyone can give me an answer? All right, then after that, we have the initial jobless claim, Philadelphia, Fed Manufacturing Index. Then after that, Jerome Powell again testify for second day in a row. Okay, then after that, we call CPI. So it seems that, right, even though the market may be taking profit a little bit, but the market just don't care. Unless after wave and waves of very high inflation numbers and poor retail sales, then maybe things may change a little bit. All right, so you can see the Dow Jones yesterday was like a hard chart. You know, like the heart of ours, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So it's like every upside there was some selling, but every downside there's some buying. So it seems that the market is still full of a lot of volume, a lot of liquidity in the market, and that causes the market to be doing that. So like it's a very clear, like I'm unwilling to go down, and I don't mind buying at every downdraft. That's why I feel that from the chart itself. All right, so what happened in the Dow Jones? Let's look. Yesterday, the Dow Jones down by 100 points as hot inflation reports overshadows the strong earnings. So what we saw was that the Dow was down by 100 points, the NASDAQ was down a little bit, S&P down a little bit. The one that down a lot was 1.9%, was the Russell 2000 I mentioned earlier. And of course, the 10-year yields went up to 1.4%. That's what I expected that to happen. And the main point is this: we have all the earnings that was good. But unfortunately, the share of Boeing shares came down by 4.2%, which is a lot. That weighed down the Dow sentiment because the airplane maker cut 787 Dreamliner production, okay, following a detection of new flaw. Okay, that is why Boeing actually have a very strong weightage in the Dow Jones. So when they go down, right, it does create the dampener on Dow. Okay, so for the US news at the moment now, basically, even though we have some inflationary numbers, but the market is still pretty strong. All right, no one is saying anything else. And of course, the bank shares earnings are pretty good, right? So that's why they feel that there should be further upside coming in. Okay. All right, so let's review what happened on the Dow Jones today. Now, the Dow Jones, yesterday. Now, the Dow Jones opened at between the two pivot 1 and pivot 2. The KSI was green in color. So same thing once again, you just have to follow through. Now, if the market stays above OP, it will likely go to KTR plus 1. But if it does come down, right, that means usually the level will be at KTR minus 1. All right. Okay, so Fred says speech midnight apparently. Is it 12 midnight? Huh? Okay, thank you. So confirm already, yeah? Okay. All right. Okay, so excuse me. So what I'm trying to say is that, right, the thing is this, because the KSI is green, right? So as long as the Dow is actually have a KSI green, the downside will be likely be about KTR minus 1. So let's see what happened. Wow, voila, exactly as what we've mentioned. The Dow being ding dong the whole day, then it trade lower a little bit, then it sends sideways in a mid draft. But when it came back down, right, look at it. Oh my God, amazing. It stopped perfectly at the KTR minus 1. Now, the thing is this, we all know that KTR minus 1 comes with a chart as early as 6 a.m. when the Dow Jones opened with the opening price. But how did the market know this number? How did the market know 3486.7? And indeed, the market, when it comes down, look at it, the way when it sell down, right, look at it, where it stopped. Do you know that this system itself is so incredible? I was sharing with a friend last night. I said that imagine this, if everybody now knows that this number 34867 is a technical level, and everybody just waited there, and then for some reason, example, by your own feel, you went and you buy. Almost immediately after you buy, right, the thing went up by almost 100 points, and you just make money just like that. That is how easy it is using the TWB system. Of course, by doing that buy is discretional, but what I'm trying to explain to you is the incredible impact of all these lines that seemingly able to curve fit the market before they start trading. That is the amazing part. All right, so that is what happened on the Dow Jones yesterday. It was pretty flat day. Let's look at the market right now. Okay, here we go. Now, China A50 is down again today. China A50 is down today. Why? Well, let's take a look here. First of all, I think I already told you before that there's a BMB and the market is still trading below the SL level. So that is one little sign that it's not that healthy. The other thing to watch out for is that MLP of yesterday. The MLP of yesterday is a doji day again, right, for the second day in a row. So based on the doji, and you can see very clearly there is a very strong resistance at the MLP. And China A50 this morning touches MLP, couldn't stay up and then start to come down, right? And that causes the most likely the Shanghai A50 to drop further. Okay, I do see China A50 to go down further in the coming week. All right, this week itself, right? Actually, I do see that. Yeah, because you can see very clearly now, right, on the MA30 and MA200, the so-called the gapping distance between them is getting wider and wider, and this is not a good sign. So when would be a good time to look for China A50 to buy, right, is when this gap gets smaller. That is probably one of the turning point to watch out for in the market. But as of now, I can't see any good reason to buy China A50 counters at this moment. Okay, so that is how I view the market. All right, for the Hong Kong market, Hong Kong, we can see that Hong Kong this morning gapped down. Now you're supposed to go higher a little bit, but because of the Dow and NASDAQ, of course, it opens lower. So let's look at the Dow Hang Seng today. In the Hang Seng today, the MLP will be here. Now yesterday was a very good one. Yesterday the doji was there, so that's why the market went up that one directional day. Now for today, the MLP is somewhere around here, which is about 27,770 level. So that is the MLP for today. So I can write out for you roughly around here, okay? Not drawn to scale, okay? I'm just giving you a ballpark figure, 27,770. So if the market go below 27,770, then of course there'll be some profit taking. But you can hang around here and stabilize, it may just rebound again. Because this is a very strong MLP based on what I'm seeing right now, and the market is behaving that moment away now. But of course, the market like the China A50, the current price now is below the MA30 and it's also below the MA200. So it's also created a death cross 2 days ago, and it's seemingly adding pressure to the downside for time being. All right. So for this Hong Kong, 27,770 is a very, very important level. It has to stay above for any form of recovery. Okay. Then we look at our index ourselves. Let's take a look. Now this is Hong Kong, and Hong Kong today, the KSI is green in color. So with the opening price between the two pivot point, all right, most likely it's going to test the pivot 2, all right, test pivot 2. Now, if it goes below OP and below pivot 2, there should be some selling, but the selling should be between -1 to -3 at best. Now, if it actually hits the pivot 2 and start to stabilize and recover, you can go for buy CCRY and target at least KTR +1. Okay, that's how you can actually do this type of analysis, pre-planning before the market even start trading. This is the way that we should do before we start our trading day. Okay, pre-planning. All right, so let's look at the Dow Jones right now. We covered the Shanghai Index and also the Hong Kong market. Now, the Dow, we can see yesterday we have some pullback. All right, so in terms of BNB, everything is still okay. The market very clearly, it did come down, but it stabilized beautifully at the BNB RL. This is a BNB, right? Can you see that? This is a BNB. So it basically, 2 days ago, it stabilized there. And you can see that now for the 4th day now, it's seemingly touching that, using the BNB RL as a form of support. Okay, the BNB RL now have become a support. Can you see that? Yeah, this is the BNB itself, and this is the BNB RL, and the market has been stabilizing above it. So as long as the market stabilizes above it, right, there'll be no concern for the Dow. Unless the market close on trades below the BNB RL, right, then we may have a bit of problem. Okay, but at the moment now, still no need to panic. In terms of MA30, is at now at 34,507. We're like 400 points away. So it's kind of not very possible unless something really bad happen, or what I tell you, the form of distribution comes in. All right, this is about 507. Okay, so which means that if the Dow Jones do break below the RL level at about 34,870, then maybe we can see the Dow Jones coming down to 34,507 range. Okay, but I don't think so lah, at least for now, because there's so many good news coming up. Some of the earnings are still not out yet, and mostly are good earnings, so that can be a bit of tough time ahead for short sellers. Okay, the weekly chart wise, everything looks good. The short-term trend is still perfect, nicely within it, so I will not cover too much. Okay, let's look at the market right now for the Dow Jones using a TWB system. Now, the Dow Jones today, the opening price is between the 2 pivot. So very clearly, the market opens between the 2 pivot. So above OP is a buy, below OP, if it comes down, it's a sell. But because the KSI happened to be green in color, so it's definitely going to favor the upside. Now, if the downside comes down, right, it hit KDR -1 to -3, the market may actually stabilize and recover. Okay, so that is something to take note of. All right, the MLP for today, I mentioned earlier. The MLP today is somewhere around here. That's MLP. If the market can stay above the MLP, the Dow Jones will definitely go up again to test the 35,142, and that will create a new all-time high. Okay, so that is the Dow Jones. So how about the NASDAQ then? Now the NASDAQ yesterday did a reversal from the high, went up to 15,000 and then came back down and lost about 100 points from the high. So not too sure what causes this to react in this manner, but still overall the market is still very bullish. And of course yesterday the market has triggered the one-time one. Can you see that? This is the one-time one, all right? And of course the market easily yesterday given the one-time one profit. So if you have trust in the BNB recently and you buy around the 4 points here, you would have made one-time profit easily yesterday. So that's the reason why the BNB structure is so useful, okay? The BNB structure is so useful. All right, let me just show it to you in the pictorial form, and we can see this better. Hold on, I bring it in. Okay, NASDAQ. Can you see that? So you can see better, right? So the NASDAQ basically there's a BNB on this day, And after that, it's all right. The market basically, right, went down to as low at this point here, which is a very good technical point to buy from the low here if you are able to take the risk. And then after that, if you're not able to take the risk, you can consider a buy around the BNB RL level. And of course, what happened? 1 times 1, right? From this point, 1 times 1 is here. It's 14,968. And the Dow Jones really, the NASDAQ really hit that beautiful level before pulling back. That is the reason why I keep on reminding you guys, if you look carefully, the BNB is really very incredible, all right? So you look at it again over here, recently the market, this is the BNB structure, and the market closed above the BNB RL. The next few days, right, it tries to stabilize it. Now the crazy part is this guy here. Look at it, the way the low came down, touches that level beautifully, and next day hit the BNB 1 times 1. Beautiful, right? So seriously, if you're into just mid-term trading, you don't need to trade every single day. Just this BNB alone, you can actually make some money. But of course, you have to decide how to enter during this technical period. All right, but if you can get the idea now, right, I can tell you this, making money has no longer been that difficult, but you just have to have a lot of patience. So of course, sometimes it may not give it to you because the market may switch over to another BNB again, but it doesn't matter. Just take it as, okay, let's move on again, new chart. All right. So don't you find this BNB really incredible? If you think this BNB is good, can you key the word BNB power or power BNB? All right, let me see how many of you actually recognize this BNB. And while you're waiting for you to type this, let me check the Dow Jones now BNB. But the Dow Jones BNB at the moment, right, we do see the Dow Jones having a BNB recently, which I talked about that. This is the BNB. And the last 2 days, we saw it cross trades above the BNB RL. That's why I was quite positive on the Dow. Okay, but yesterday pulled back, right? But you notice yesterday it pulled back, it stopped again nicely at the BNB RL. And now this morning, right, it again tested the BNB RL. So if the market can stay above the BNB RL, the Dow Jones can go all the way up. The Dow Jones can go all the way up to 35,376 level. Hey, not bad, right? So guys, we can see an all-time high level to 35,376 if this really happened. Okay, so this is something that you can consider, really doing it for yourself, okay? Of course, the BNB indicator is not ready because we're going to integrate in the next version upgrade. So, but you can do it on your own. Just go and find the nearest BNB, get the high, get the low. You can do it on your own. You don't need me to wait for the indicator, okay? So that is the BNB for the Dow Jones. I just want to play with it just for showing you guys. The S&P missed the target 4399 but by 1 bit of points. So that's why the UBS guy is looking at 4,400. Now, the one that, of course, looking at is gold right now. Now, gold already BNB has been given, and there's no more new BNB recently. So I'm really waiting for the BNB to come in. And if the BNB really come in, right, wow, then we can actually trade gold and make a lot of money from that. Okay, got the idea on the BNB? So today's a pretty good session, right, to talk about the BNB. And thank you guys for all giving me all validate this BNB. Wow, so many of you. Thank you. Okay, we have Jerry, we have Fred, we have Janet, we have this Kit, Han Yu, and Richard, Anthony also, right? Okay, so that is the S&P, and I talked to you about the S&P and the MLP and everything. Now, S&P yesterday hit the 4393 high, and then today is coming down a little bit, and now it's currently trading below the MLP a little bit currently now. The BNB already missed by a bit. I told you, right, 4399, and now it's coming back down. So maybe later on when the S&P do come down to the high again at 4351, 4357, yeah. If the S&P do drop to 4357, we can look at it to look for buying interest again. 4357, look out for buying interest, okay? So you guys, you hear me correctly? Yeah, I'm saying buying interest. Yeah, because the market now is up, right? So any pullback is a buy. Until the pullback is a buy, chart to change over, it means that as a reason for buying is no longer valid. Then the opposite is true. Then it means the market will sell. You understand? There must be a transition. Like, from green light to red light, right? You cannot do it immediately just like that, right? You will create a big, massive problem. So you need to turn to amber first, correct or not? Yeah. So that's why this amber light is very important, the transition stage itself. Okay. All right. So that is all the market for today. All right, let's look at Hang Seng again. Hang Seng is now trading a bit lower below the MLP right now. China A50 is still down a little bit compared to, it's off the low from just now. Now look at DAX. Now DAX yesterday continued to break to new all-time high. So yesterday we all know that I already said that DAX will go to new all-time high. Not too sure Arun is here, but yesterday I gave a very clear number. The number I gave was 15631, right? I gave the number down there, and that's why the market supported there. Next day, yesterday, the market tried up again, and then of course it was pretty flat by end of the day, very flat day. The MLP, okay, this is the BNB. So the MLP for today will be somewhere around here. So now we see that, right, for today is the MA30. Okay, the MA30 for today, let me bring it in. The MA30 for today is somewhere around here. Okay, sorry, drawing issue here. Okay, all right, so what is the level? Well, take a look. The number is 15641, 15641. So which means that today 15641 will be the level to watch out for DAX. Now the MLP obviously will take a precedent because MLP is nearer. So MLP, if the market can stay above MLP of the DAX, then maybe you can see some recovery. Now there is a possibility, as I told you guys, for the DAX to go to 15,900. Now why do I say that? Because there is a BNB recently, right? Here you go. This is the BNB, right? So this is a BNB, and if the market now stabilized above the RL level, so that means that the market can go up by one time, and that should be about 15,900 level. So we're about 120 points away. So let's see whether can this happen later today, okay, or this week lah. Okay, so we covered DAX, we covered all the indices. Let's look at Nikkei. Now Nikkei. Now Nikkei this morning trading higher. Why? Because the dollar strengthened, the yen weakened, so that's what they want. So that's the reason why Nikkei is up today. Okay, and of course now we are at a big crossroad for the MA 2030 and MA 200. You can see that it basically comes together already, right? It converges into one. So the question is this: if the MA 30 goes below the MA 200, then we have a problem. That means that we will see a death cross. And the last two death cross on some of the market like China A50 and this Hang Seng really causes the market to fall further. So are we going to see this later? Well, we will see how the Nikkei display. But with the way the Nikkei finding strength, maybe you push it up and that will change its course for the MA 30 for the moving average. Okay, so that is the Nikkei. All right, so I covered all the indices. Let's look at the commodities right now. Commodities wise for gold price, well, coal yesterday went up all the way to 1818. Congratulations. Then after that, it came back down again because of the US dollar strengthened. But overall itself, right, the trend seemingly is pretty clear. It's up. But of course, if you look at the gold for the second day in a row, we have doji, the second doji in a row. Now, the thing is this, yesterday someone was telling me, Cal, yesterday, the day before was a doji. So you say before, right, next day, the chance of having a directional day is high. And then after that, it didn't manifest, right? So people ask me, is it because I'm wrong? Well, I've been saying this many times, that usually after a doji, we should see a directional day. But there will be days whereby, or period whereby we see two doji or even three doji side by side. But there's something that can definitely tell you after these two or three doji, usually we're going to see fairly big movement, right? So that is my bet here right now. I believe that, right, the gold is going to go into a big movement soon. I'm going to put it there big, right? Big movement. I'm going to see that happening. I believe that there will be a big movement soon, very soon, maybe this week or early next week. Because usually when you see two doji side by side each other, right, that means the boys are getting ready for the big movement. So traders, this could be a great opportunity to make a lot of money. You just have to remember what we preach over here. So that was what happened yesterday on the gold. The KSI was green. So if the gold come down to KTR -1, there should be some buying interest, okay? That is how you should analyze the TWB chart. So look at it. Oh my goodness. Look at how scary is this. Okay, now first of all, this is OP, right? Now when the market goes up above OP, above pivot 1, can you buy here? Yes, you can, but it's discretional. If you buy here, good. That is how you should do, right? Above OP, above pivot 1, you buy, no wrong. but the market couldn't really go up, and then it likely will stop you out. Then after it do sideways, and then after it went up again, you can go in for a buy. This time round, the entry to stop loss, the profit was given nicely. And it went to KTR +1. Now, what was crazy was when the CPI data came out. When the CPI data came out, right, look at the way the gold dropped. Now, look at the way it stopped there. Oh my goodness, this is KTR -1, 1798. A number that we all know at 6 a.m. in the morning. And yet by 8:30 p.m., right, the gold price really know where to stop, come down all the way perfectly, touch the KTR -1, really perfecto, right? Almost really perfect. And then what happened? Immediately, you can see that the gold price jump up. I mean, this is really insane. Imagine this is gold market traded by the world traders. And yet in Singapore, right now, 500 of us, okay, 200 students, right, in Gold Group Chat, they will know that there's a number 1798 early in the morning at 6 a.m. and yet the market know where to stop perfectly. Amazing? Don't you find it amazing? If it's amazing, please key the word amazing. I can't find it lesser than that, because you see, I'm a trader for 20 years. And of course, normally we see low point, high point, we draw the technical point, right? And of course, sometimes you go past it and stuff like that, then we kind of like expected it to happen. But the crazy part is this: I have never created a system in this way, where by 6 a.m. it tells me a number, and the number gets traded. And after it gets traded, right, because we know that the KSI is green in color on the day chart, most likely it will rebound, and really it rebounded right smack at the number. So this is why, you know, when I tell my friends this, look, there is so much opportunity we can go, and I cannot wait for the day we can put this into the Singapore stock market, Hong Kong stock market, those live market. I cannot imagine that we will go really, really far. So today we are sitting right here now. We are like looking at it. You guys are, oh, okay, this is a Singapore guy being crazy here. But do you know that, right? Any big dream and big companies today came from all the crazy dreams, and also come from the very, very interesting places, like Mark Zuckerberg in his study room, Jeff Bezos in his garage, you know. And of course, we have Steve Jobs, also the late Steve Jobs, also in the garage. All these crazy dreams come from very, 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 what you call, humble places. But I believe that today, this speech I'm giving right now, right, will definitely be one of the highlight, you know, in the many years to come. So that's why, guys, I really want you guys to think about this. This is crazy, because no one have ever sent me or showed me an amazing system like this to predict numbers like that. If you have, please let me know. I would love to learn from this and maybe make this I would love to make this system even better. Okay, yeah, it did. All right, crazy. Being crazy is awesome. Okay. All right, so let's be more crazy today and look at the chart now. Okay. So let's look at the chart at the moment right now for us. Okay, so now let's us be more crazy and look at the chart right now. Now look at the MA200. The MA200 has been there for long while, and I did tell you what I suspect is going to happen. Now we saw it happening the first time here. That is where it touches the MA30 and then pull back. Then after that, on the next time, it actually traded higher and pull back. Then on the third day, it traded, came off. The fourth day, wow, almost precisionally hit that point and came off. Then yesterday, it did that again. Now, this is 5 times already in a matter of 6-7 days. And now we are there again, probably the 6th time already. So what does it tell you? I will tell you this. If you are not subscribing to Gold, you must be kidding me, okay? I repeat myself. If you're not subscribing to Gold, you're kidding me, because I'm going to tell you this. Gold is going to go into a very mega big movement soon, all right? Why do I say that? Now, look at it, okay? The MA200 is all the resistance, right? Do you notice that at the same time, do you notice that on this day at A, the market hit the MA30 and rebound? B, it hit the MA30 and rebound. And C, yesterday hit the MA30 and rebound. But today already is no longer near to the MA30. It's now very near to MA200. So what I'm suspect is that there will be very big movement coming up very soon. And likely is like this, like that. That means the next target goal will be going is 1834. Now today, the goal is trading at 1809 right now, right? So I suspect that goal will be going to 1834 very soon. I don't know when, but definitely it's going to go there, okay? Because on the way, look at it now, very beautiful. Now, of course, on the flip side, because the market now is so heavily resisted at this 1810 resistance point of the MA 200, then the MA 30 is such a powerful support at 1799. So which means that if gold pulls back down, 1799 will be a very good price to buy gold because it is a psychological level at 1800, and also the MA 30 have proven itself. But don't get too carried away, because there's something that I must warn you first, okay? Now, of course, you look at it now, on the flip side, if the market can go up, obviously it can also come down, right? Because I say big movement, we don't know where it's going to go. So if it goes down, right, then there is a small possibility that it can go down all the way to 1761, because that is the Fibonacci 50%. Now, these are all using the conventional chart, okay, not using a TWB system chart. So do understand this, the number may differ between them. But at least you can see very clearly now, these are the 4 numbers that you can consider to watch out for gold. So if gold break 1810 and stay above it, we can see 1834, okay? That's what I mean. But of course, we do talk about 1820 and those numbers that we said before, right? You can also utilize them. But for this big picture right now, right, these are the 4 numbers that I'm watching for gold. Clear? All right. So is this clear enough? If it's clear enough, right, please keep the word clear. Thank you. KH Tan, okay, it's the best. Wow. All right. Some people may get very angry with that. Okay, right. If this is clear, please key the word clear, and then this is what we're going to offer for you. Okay, so that is gold. Weekly chart wise is still stabilizing, and that's how I get my 1820. I take the MLP of this black candle bar, 1820. That's how I get my 1820. Okay, so let's look at gold on our own TWB system chart. Now, gold on a TWB system chart is very clear. The opening price of today is between the 2 pivot, right? And the KSI is definitely green. And you notice that the KSI today, this green one is so big, right? Little telltale sign. But of course, you cannot use it, but I'm just telling you telltale sign. So now the gold is trading upwards, right? It's trading upwards now. This morning, it tested the pivot 2 level and rebounded, though that is a very good sign. That means that we go tested pivot 2 and start to go up, and the KSI is green. There is a pretty high chance for gold to go towards the 1823 level, which is the pivot 1. So there is a good chance for gold to go towards 1823. And of course, you may say, but Kel, the dollar is going up, right? So how can that be, right? Like I tell you guys, if inflation is on the cut right now, right, and stock market is coming down, gold will go up. So the key point is the equity markets must come down. If the equity market come down, right, then you see gold going up. So you put the Dow Jones chart and the gold chart beside each other, M15 today, right, you will see a very interesting movement between them. Is that anytime if the Dow go up, right, the gold will come down. And if the Dow come down, the gold go up. You try it lah. It's only for today, okay? Because while I'm talking to you guys online, I actually pay attention to the market. So I actually do a bit of like, what you call multitasking. But what I'm saying that, right, likely the gold today, there is a good chance to see gold trading 1823 as long as there's no changes in the fundamental of what's happening right now. Okay, 1823 is a pivot 1 level. All right, so those who are clear, good, thank you. Again, those who are clear, I can give you all the likes here. Thank you so much, guys. Now, end of the day, you guys make money is the key happiness for us. As long as you make money, we'll be very happy for you. Okay, so that is the goal right now. Look at the 15-minute chart right now. Look at it, beautiful, right? The gold came down, touches the pivot 2 amazingly. Like again, same thing, right? This morning, as early as 6 a.m. when the gold price opened up, the pivot 2, 1804 is already there. And after that, when it came down, it hit the 18 pivot 2, and then the KCX was there, straight away reversal, and then the boys came in to buy, and boom, that is how the market went up. So isn't that so simple? You really don't need to think too much. You have to remember this, our slogan, don't think, just follow. DTJF. All right, don't think, just follow. And apparently this is a mantra that many traders know about it, but they kind of like, really don't pay much details attention to it. But seriously, this is going to worth a lot of money if you know how to utilize this properly. All right, so guys, don't think, just follow, just do what you need to do, and you should be fine. Okay, all right, so that is the goal for today based on my personal view on gold. So you guys make your own call on this, okay? All right, messages are already starting to flood in already, asking me, Cal, can we buy gold now and stuff like that? And of course, my usual statement is that do your risk management as usual. Okay, all right. Okay, so that is goal for us for today. Don't think, just follow. All right, DTJF. Don't think, just follow. Don't think, just follow. Thank you, Jane. All right, cool. Okay, all right. So that is the goal for today. Silver, how's silver today? Now, silver is also having a bit of problem. Can you see that silver? Silver has just crossed a death cross yesterday. Silver came down, but now it's recovering a little bit. Now, for silver, the MLP for today is somewhere about 2607. Now, silver, you can see that it's not moving as fast as gold, right? Because the thing is this, I told you, it's inflation that's doing it, not precious metal buying. So that's the reason why gold doing better than silver. And that's the reason why I tell you for silver is you have to basically buy and wait one. It will just come out one day, suddenly out of nowhere, it will just go ballistic, and then silver will just run by itself. So now what we are seeing is a bit of pen-up energy on silver right now. The KSI is definitely green. The buyers are there. The KCX is no longer at the green area. That means the buying is getting off from the grid. So there will be a possibility one day if gold starts to go out fast, silver will just also run out like that. Okay, it will also run up something like that suddenly one. It won't be like slowly, because from where you look at it now, you can see the market is trying to buy, it's going up. The boys are buying, just that it's kind of slow at the moment. Okay, so that is silver. Okay, for today, and we look at crude oil. Now, crude oil, very nicely, okay, $75 is the cash market. The futures yesterday still go up to $74.48, CFD prices, and this is the MLP. So for crude oil, as long as it stabilizes above the MLP, nothing will go wrong. And of course, the MA30 is powerfully supporting it. So don't you find this MA30 is pretty exciting? You can see that, it gets supported, it went up, and recently it touched the MA30 and then it goes up. I know a student actually texted me on the site, said that 2 days ago or 3 days ago, they made some money on crude oil. They really remember the MA30 that I mentioned to them. And after that, when the price came down, they waited. And of course, once it go back up, they buy. Now, this is very important. This is MA30. When you want to buy MA30, you must let it go down first, recover, then you buy. Or really, you must touch first, then recover, then you buy. So the best way is that the best and most powerful is when it actually goes down first, then recover, then you buy. That will be a better bet. Okay, that is a way to trade the MA30. Because if you just put a buy limit order, right, sometimes it may actually pierce through and go lower, and that will be very dangerous for you as a trader, right? So don't do a buy limit order. Try to wait for it to hit core level and then you buy. Okay, so that is the chart for crude oil. So for today's crude oil, let's take a look for crude oil for today. All right, for crude oil for today is trading marginally above pivot 2 level. So looks like it will go higher today towards $75.74. Okay, so that means that if crude oil goes up, we can see going up to $75.67. That is also the KCB at 75, 74, roughly there. All right, two particular level, plus the boys are still buying. That is the reason why. Okay. All right, so that's it. I've come to the end of all the sharing. We're going to go into the alternate market views right now. So guys, if you want to stay on for the alternate market views, just simply stay on. Silver will be available tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow. Silver will be available tomorrow, right? Likely in the evening, right? That means tomorrow evening. Don't go and call Ben tomorrow morning, okay? It'll likely be available tomorrow in the evening, okay? All right, so once it's available, we will let you know. We'll formally announce it. And of course, students can actually enjoy it, okay? Of course, you need to subscribe for it, that's for sure. Okay, guys, I'm gonna give you 15 seconds of break time to get some water or stretch yourself a little bit. Right, I'll come back in about 15 seconds time. We will talk about the alternate market views. Okay, guys, I'm back. Hopefully, you guys get a good break, stretch a little bit. Let's go for the second half of this MAO right now. And this is the alternate market views. Okay. Now, of course, with the CPI going up again, so what we saw is that the implied Fed rate seems to go up again. So that means that now they're looking again at another hike. Now, initially, back in April, where the CPI numbers was high, there was speculation that there'll be a hike. And then after that, everybody was like getting a bit worried. But after that, the Dow Jones did come down, will come down by 500 points, 800 points. Then after that, very fast, the whole thing fizzled out all the way down, and as if that nothing will happen. Then after that, suddenly the inflation data is coming again. They try again, but this time around, they put it down and say that no, it's okay. But yesterday, it went back up again. So meaning, right, you can see that the market is definitely knowing that there is going to be an interest rate hike likely in 2022 late. But because the Federal Reserve keep on dampening they keep on pulling down the yields, right? This causes people to think that maybe there's no inflation. But seriously, come on, man. Go outside and look at the grocery prices. Tell me that they are not getting higher. It is getting higher. But the problem is this, like I say, if the Federal Reserve say no means no. That's my point. So even one day, one can of milk costs, one gallon of milk, example, 1 liter, Singapore, 1.5 liter costs you, let's say $5, example, $5. But if you're going to be paying $10, seriously, and if the Federal Reserve say, no, we are not going to hike rate, there's nothing can be done. You understand? There's nothing can be done because they are the one who have the final say. That is my point here itself, okay? All right. So remember, I talked about the yields. Remember that during the preview, I think it's on the preview, I talked about the yields. And I tell you with regards that I see why the yields are going to go up. And I told you it's because of the 61.8, this Fibonacci. And indeed, it really happened. That's why I told you the yields is bottoming out soon. And of course, based on what we saw previously, when this happened, when RSI hit below 30, that was buy. Look at it. So now you look at trend line, right? If we put a trend line right here, right now, okay, this is the trend line. This is the major trend line. So the major trend line says that right now at 1.4, definitely you'll ring some alarm. But the real alarm will be here when you break the trend. And that is about 1.5%. Now, what happened? We've seen it before, right? When the market broke 1.5%, remember that was where the market also created a lot of this, noise. Initially, it went above 1.5, market got panicked, but immediately it pulled back down. Then after that, next, it just stabilized above it already, and it went to all the way to 1.7. But after that, Jerome Powell says that they'll do anything it takes to bring the market down in terms of the yield. Then what happened? It came back down, it came back down, it came back down. So they probably get it correct. But now you can see it's coming back again at the same point that the previous neckline was. So now from this whole chart, it seems that, right, the yield is going to go back to 1.5 because now the CPI, the PPI numbers are so high, the PCE data will likely be also following through. So with that itself, right, this is inevitable already. I'm very sure that we're going to see 1.7% by end of this year. Okay, 1.7. And if it's going to happen this time, right, then of course the panic will be stretching. That's why I will say that likely Jackson Hole period of time, there will be, so this is the one they're going to do. This will be the catalyst. The moment they talk about this, that will be the catalyst to bring the yields higher. Okay, that's how I see it. Because tapering first, then interest rate hike. So if they do tapering, and that means they're really implying that they're going to hike the rate very soon. Okay, so that is what I feel from the market expect here. Okay, all right. Now, of course, this is the S&P Information Technology Index. This is very cool index. Watch. Now, the one in black is the technology price / versus sales ratio. The one in blue is the S&P itself. Now, you notice that, right? According to data compiled by Bloomberg, US technology stock may soon be more costly than ever than the .com time. All right, so you can see that this is the price over sales ratio. Now, the last time when we see something like this, you can see that was back in 1999. That's the last time we saw something like this. But that time, the S&P 500 was here. Now, today, we are back to the same level, right? The price to sales ratio is at the same level, but S&P is way, way higher. So from where I look at it right now, right, okay, it is basically much higher, and there's a high odds that there'll be some headwinds coming in. That's the reason why Morgan Stanley is saying that, right, because of a fierce competition, higher tax possible if Biden go with it, and stricter regulation because of the China-US thingy, this may actually pull the market down. But of course, I say that this is only as a form of guidance. Whether does this really happen? End of the day, you have to remember that the market has to say. If the market say no, things will just go higher than you can think of. Okay, so of course, that's why there's some CNBC reports say that now they felt that, right, this is going back to 1999 time. And of course, we're talking about example like US payment processor Stripe, right? Seriously, now is worth $95 billion. Oh my goodness. So companies that is reasonable, but they are worth like what, 50 billion, 90 billion, 100 billion is really getting a bit crazy at the moment right now. So now the thing is this, there's no 149 companies that achieved the 1 billion unicorn valuation. Okay, so not real in short. Okay, so one of the top fund, Tiger Global, okay, they bet on pre-IPO tech shares. I mean, they're doing pretty fine recently. They also felt that, right, maybe the market need to be a bit careful, all right, because the fear of missing out factor now is already driving into the market. So you can see right now why am I saying that to be a bit careful going forward, because even though we saw a very nice data from Goldman Sachs, we see a very good data from JPMorgan, right? Do you not notice that yesterday Goldman Sachs initially gap up, then it sell down all the way, it tries to go up again, but it sell down again. Now this is a very classic distribution. Pump up on earnings, sell down on volume, recover, sell down. So this is a very high distribution. This is a big D word. It's a distribution that is happening right now. And I'm very sure that this is going to happen, okay? This is distribution at this moment right now. So if you look at this, another one, look at this is the JPMorgan Chase. You can see that it's almost identical, all right? Right, so that's why I strongly believe traders have to be very careful as we move towards. That is definitely distribution at this moment right now in the market. But again, of course, if you don't believe what I say, it's okay, watch the market and you know it better. And of course, you can see that when the day of JPMorgan and JPMorgan and Goldman Sachs came out their earnings, majority of the US companies that are doing financial, like like BAC, like Citibank, Wells Fargo, all right, Morgan Stanley, they were all down or flat on yesterday's market. So this tells you that you must be very careful with these earnings, okay? Now, the last part and the one very important thing is this. Now, this is from Goldman Sachs directly, okay? Now, this is Goldman Sachs to their client. So it's not a report. It's not a forecast. It's a client report. Now, apparently, right, Goldman Sachs Asset Management, okay, has a stellar quarter. Wow, very, very big one. The second quarter of last year to this second quarter of this year, they have made $5.1 billion in net revenue. That's a lot of money for a company, and it has doubled the year quarter. Okay, so that's a lot of money that they profited from the market. But then that means that they're doing very well, right? Exactly. But there's a problem. If you look down the equity portfolio, right, they actually have liquefied $5 billion, $5.5 billion of equity assets. All right, that means they have already liquefied $5.5 billion. That means that they make money. But over the last few days or months or whatever, or weeks, they have already booked $5.5 billion. So whatever they made this last year to this year, they already take profit. So the question is this, if the market doesn't go higher, right, then why are they taking profit? Is it because to take profit to get paid the clients? It is possible, so that it's not going to be wrong on that. Or is it because they have something that they know that we don't know? And that is why we need to be very, very careful. So the question is, who is Goldman Sachs selling to? And if they are selling, who's buying? And we're always saying that. And of course, is it the time for us to be very careful? Or is this what we call as a distribution phase right now? So all these are information that I dig up for you, and it's up to you to think about this. End of the day, there's always a very fair treatment. Someone have to win, someone have to lose. So the only thing is that we try to be on the winning side, if not every time, but most of the time. All right. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this MAO. I hope that you guys understand that there's a lot of hard work and pain going to this. All right. I wish you all the best. All I say is, guys, if you think that you're happy with all this information sharing, just do me a favor, just like this group chat, and I hope to see you guys. All right, this is Cal signing off. Have a great day. See you guys.